On this video I'm going to test the DTek Stratus by Inficon on R410a refrigerant. We'll check sensitivity and parts per million. I'm really curious if my balloon can match the parts per million that'll show on the screen. So it's doing its warm-up now. This is an infrared leak detector, which means it looks at the absorption of the infrared spectrum of the different gases. It doesn't seem to have a place to select what gas you're using, which I find is interesting because the really expensive, if you spend like $10,000, you have to key in which gas you're detecting. And on the more expensive, the Inficon, like the HLD 5000, didn't really give me an option for entering in the gas. Let's check the manual here. So I have my balloon blended at 10 parts per million right now. Let's get on their PPM. Let's see what we get. So I'm 10 parts per million on my gas here. And reading 5, 6, 7, 8. Kind of close. I wouldn't expect it to be super accurate. Let's check this again. Let's fill up my syringe, 10 parts per million, R410a. Basically, the way I mix my gas is I do pure refrigerant, 2.5 milliliters, and I use water to chase through the pipe. And then this is 250,000 cc's, so if you divide it out, that works to 10 parts per million. So here we're going to go again, 10 parts per million. Look at there. 10 parts per million. So I've done already on these, this is the first time I was able to verify my parts per million. On my testing, I've literally bought $10,000 worth of leak detectors and tested them using this method, so it's kind of nice to get some confirmation here. So I've tested 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 19 leak detectors. This is going to make the 20th leak detector. So it's I think this scale only goes to 0 and 1. So it's kind of obvious in this scale we're only going to go 1 part per million sensitivity, which is actually ends up being pretty poor for 410A, and if I want to do 1 part per million, that's like, the ones that are better are the Testo 316-4. That's actually the most sensitive. I prefer the SRL8. Let's see the HLD or the H10 Pro. That's about the same sensitivity as the H10 Pro at 1 part per million. So let's see on the super sensitive if it's more sensitive than that. So there's the super mode. One thing I've noticed, this leak detector, okay, my testing is more for residential, which you care about 1 pound per year leaks. Larger leaks, SRL8's squirrely as heck. It's kind of annoying to use. Like, I'm actually drinking a beer while I'm doing this, but this leak detector is highly sensitive to alcohol. It's actually sensitive to everything you could think of, including just having your breath in the vicinity of where you're checking. You have to like hold your breath or blow your breath away, because it's also very humidity sensitive. But for residential, I mean, I can find a 1 pound per year leak in 60 seconds, you know, really fast. And this actually might have advantages on your larger systems, which you don't care about. If you have a 30-pound system, you don't care about 1 pound per year leak. What is that going to be, 10 years before they need a recharge? And you care more of maybe 5 pounds per year leak, definitely 10 pounds per year leak. And this might be a really good leak detector for your larger leak type applications, like commercial stuff, you know, anything large. So it's nice being able to see, you know, parts per million on there. I'm going to have a shorter video where I show with the HFC vial the sensitivity difference. And so anyway, this video is for my report. I basically get into the details. Let's check super mode now. Let's check on 10 parts per million, which I'm sure super is going to go crazy on 10. Okay, here's 10 parts per million on super mode. Yeah, of course, picks that up. So let's go down to 2 parts per million. So I'm going to go to 20 cc at 10. I'm going to blend 80 cc of air. Shake it up, get a mix. Okay, now here's 2 parts per million. So I expect it'll pick it up. Ugh. Not really. Let's check that again. Let's do 2 parts per million again. Two parts per million, super mode. Ugh, nothing. That sucks. Barely picks up the HFC reference leak. Alright, let's do 4 parts per million. I think this is really more a leak detector for your large leaks. Which for me, I just switched to ultrasonic. If I got, well, ultrasonic is really 15 pounds per year or larger. But ultrasonic just takes you there really quick. Okay, so here is 4 parts per million. So it picks up 4. Let's try it again. Get a decent hit. Manual 0. I think manual's less. PPM, I don't have much left here. Let's check 4 parts per million on PPM mode. See what that does. So we want 40 cc, mix it, go to 100. Here's 4 parts per million, PPM mode. I noticed that it tends to, I noticed that with the reference leak, it started losing sensitivity. Let's go back to 10. Let's do the full 10 parts per million. Yeah, it takes us right to 10. Kind of scary. It takes us exactly to 10. Just basic math, you know, like mixing for baking a cake. Air mixes just like liquids. Same stuff. So, PPM mode, yeah, let's try. Go to 2. See if we pick up 2. Yeah, it doesn't really pick up around 0. Let's go back to super mode and let's test 3 parts per million, see if it picks that up. It's going to make this 3 times less sensitive than the H10 and 30 times less sensitive than the SRL8. So, I mean, it's a nice leak detector where you can't ruin the sensor if you got big gushers, because you can definitely ruin sensors on all your heated diode stuff. There's 30, mix it 70. Okay, here's 3 parts per million, super mode. And it doesn't even pick that up. So let's do 4 parts per million. So this thing's just going to find, I mean, those ounce per year specs are so bogus. That's why I did this testing. Because if you go by the ounce per year sensitivity, every single leak detector on the market is like the best. But they can't find 1 pound per year leaks. It's so annoying. H10 sensitivity was 0.05 on R410a. But anyway, I'm complaining now. Okay. Okay, 4 parts per million. Let's see if we get 4. So it gets 4. That's about it. I mean, I gotta call this thing at 4 parts per million on R410a refrigerant.